Most people put themselves in their own prison. That's the worst fear a lot of us have, is having to go to prison and not experience freedom. But mentally, you do this all the time. You're like, Jason, how do I mentally put myself in prison? By having self-limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. These are the sources of fear, of worry, of self-doubt. I'm not good enough. I can't handle this. I'm not worthy. This makes you a prisoner. And the ego loves it. You know why? Because the ego gets to take control. And if it can keep you in the prison, because it knows you have the key to unlock the door. Your higher self can unlock the door anytime it wants, the real you. So this fake ego, the shell of who you think you are that's been programmed, you're literally a computer that has been programmed by your parents' limiting beliefs, your religious, whatever religions we have, those limiting beliefs, our borders, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a label. All of those things create limiting beliefs. And you want a great exercise? Try to go through those. I've gone through hundreds of them. You will find the roots of so many of your limiting beliefs. I have this one that I'm not good enough. So upper limit problem, we've talked about those before. I'm not good enough. Like, I feel like, and I catch myself now, but it's like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for this relationship. I'm not good enough for this work job. I'm not, they're going to fire me. They're going to do this. They're not going to like me. I'm not good enough, which is all pity party narcissistic. But it's more than that. It's my ego putting me, my mental thoughts into prison. It wants to do that. It doesn't want you to break free from that because it needs you. It needs you more than you need it. Because the real you is your higher self you. Your higher self you is the infinite creator. That's where we get the word creativity. Where does fears come from? Well, limiting beliefs, we could say yes, of course. But those fears come from, don't swim in the water, there's sharks, watch this shark video. Oh my God, I watched Shark Week and I watch people get their arms and legs ripped off. When in actuality, the worst thing that you can do is drive your car. That's one of the most dangerous, or get on a ladder. Those are the most dangerous things, or slip and fall and break your hip when you're older. Those things are what look up what really causes mortality, what causes death. People die in normal, unassuming ways. The amount of shark attacks, the amount of sharks. There's a guy in Malibu, I think it's like Malibu Shark or something, I don't know, he's on YouTube. But he takes a drone out in the water while people are swimming all around Malibu, and he shows these huge great whites. Malibu artists, shark artists or something like that, I don't know. You have to look it up, it's really cool. But he takes this drone and he flies it out in the water, and you see these monster great whites so close to people. People are surfing all the time, and they're just, go check them out, go check them out. Occasionally, and usually it's a younger one that doesn't really understand or know, just wants to take like a test bite. Which, with us humans, we're so fragile. We can't handle. We just have the brain. That's the amazing part we have, our ingenuity and creativity. But these limiting beliefs, the fear of water comes from all the programming that we had. So you got to go through and say, I was just programmed this. This is not real. This is a program that my computer is running, that I'm running, but this program is not real. I can delete the program. It doesn't have to be there. So let me get back to this. I'm not good enough, because I want to show you the root of this. The root of this is I was raised in a fundamentalist home. And there was good things to it. I'm not going to say everything was bad in this fundamentalist Christian home. I learned a lot. And I really appreciate the Bible. I love the Bible. I love reading it. Whether we can have arguments back and forth of what it is or what it's not or all of that. But it's just a beautiful book. But this I'm not good enough is stemming from I'm going to hell. And then these pastors just yelling and screaming from the pulpit, scaring the crap out of you when you're little, constantly making you self-doubt over and over and over him that you're not good enough. That, you know, and then they're like, you'll never be good enough. You're a sinner. You're sinning. Oh yeah, I did sin. I did do this bad thing. You know, especially as a teenager, you're like, oh my God. And then, you know, I have to get saved 258,000 times. You know, I got to ask Jesus into my heart so I can go to heaven and get the insurance ticket. And some of you believe that. That's awesome if that's your belief system. I respect you and I appreciate that. But for me, it was causing a limiting belief because I am good enough. I am good enough. There is an infinite side of me. And whether you want to say it's through Christ that you're good enough and through him and through the things that I do, you know, that's fine. Whether you want to say it's you know, whatever religion, I'm not here to bash any of that. But I want you guys to know God would not, whether it's God, the universe, or whatever, each of us are individuals with individual gifts and abilities that has this amazing capacity to create things out of nowhere. I mean, 10,000 years ago, look where we were at. 300 years ago, look where we are at. We've invented so much technology. Birds aren't doing that. I don't see chimpanzees walking around with cell phones. I mean, just imagine in the short of time, compared to looking at millions and millions of years, imagine the shorter period of time like we have done. Absolutely amazing. We shouldn't even be here. We've defied all odds and we've flourished on this planet that if we didn't have a home and we were outside and we had no air conditioning and we had no heater and we had no clothes, we would die in a few days. We all see the Naked and Afraid show, right? It's brutal. No shoes. And then one little thing can take you out in an infection or a bite or a poisonous snake. But we overcome all of that to get to the point where we're at now. We are good enough. We're amazing creatures. You are amazing. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. If you are disciplined and put your mind to it and believe in yourself, you can do it. There is no excuse, because I can find someone in history that has done what you're talking about in some form and had the same handicaps that you had. I always remember Spud Webb. He's like 5'2", 5'4", whatever, in the NBA back in the 90s. Was an amazing player. There's a lot of short NBA players. What are the odds? So guys, I want you to understand this. Find the source of your self-doubts. Find the source of your fears. Find the source of your worries. Get out of prison. Stop these self-limiting beliefs, and I guarantee you, if you identify these and use my affirmation, I use it all the time, that's not real. That fear's not real. That doubt right now I'm having, that's not real. That worry, stop worrying, Jason. It's not real. Has that come to pass? Has any of that stuff that you're worrying about, the worst case scenario, has that come to pass? No. Stop worrying. Stop being fearful. It's time for us to allow ourselves to be who we truly are. The amazing creatures that have done amazing things. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you this, and I want you to hear this, because this is true love. When you began to act in your higher self, when you began to show love to others, not at the point of where you're not, taking care of yourself. You've took care of yourself. You're operating physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally at a 10. You're vibrating and having so much abundance. And you're influencing, in this unconditional love, you're influencing others. What an amazing life that is. Absolutely amazing. Whether you're extroverted or introverted, it doesn't matter. There are so many creative ways to influence. Don't get caught up in the labels, guys. Stop the self-doubt.
Thank you for joining us on the Albuquerque Business Podcast. And thanks to our sponsor, RigbyDigital.com. Make sure to subscribe and share. And go to abqpodcast.com. Get show notes, resources, and links to everything we talked about today to help you navigate your journey as an entrepreneur and business owner.